It's Darkblade here with another episode for you. This one today is part 4 of the Two-Face miniseries, and with this episode we'll be focusing mainly on the face, maybe the hair as well. I'll get the whole head finished this time. So without further ado, let's crack on. Okay, so I've been doing quite a bit of research on Two-Face. I've seen so many different colour combinations for him, but I finally settled on, well, it's got to be regular flesh on the left hand side, but I decided to go with a green colour on the right hand side. So I'm going to be starting off with scale colour Sherwood green. I'm going to be shading that with Boreal Tree Green, which is a pretty nice colour when you water it down anyway. It's going to be a nice shade colour. And maybe with the highlights, I'll go back to Sherwood Green, but I'll add a bit of Autumn Green to it. So it's quite a yellowy green. It should give us a nice highlight. If we mix it about 50-50 with the Sherwood Green, it should come out quite nicely. So, right. We'll continue with the base coat. So I've mixed a little bit of water in with the Sherwood green, and we're just going to crack on with the base coat. I do apologise if I go out of focus. It's such a small face, and it's really hard to zoom in on it. So I'll try and keep it about there. So we can get the green on. I'm using just a size 1 with a nice tip on it. I'll try and keep a bit of the shade in the socket. Push it up into the hairline. Make sure I get the jawline as well. And a bit of the neck. This will probably take another coat or two just to get a decent coverage on it. So there we are. I'll probably do one more coat off camera and come back. Okay, so that's 2 coats of the Sherwood green. I'm going straight in with the Boreal Tree Green. It's about 50-50 mixed with water, just to make a wash, and this should settle in all the recesses. I'll push it up into the hairline and come around the back of the neck, and we'll leave that to dry. I'll try and pull it in the jaw as well. Okay, the Boreal Tree Green didn't really work on its own, so I've mixed a little black in with it, and what I'm going to do, I'm just going to concentrate in the mouth area, put a drop in the eyes, a little bit on the brow and under the chin, and work my way around and see how that settles. Might have to do another one, but we'll see how it goes anyway. I'll go a little bit in the temples just to get a little bit of contrast in there, and we'll come back when that's dry. Okay, so I'm a lot happier with that, how that came out. So I'm going back to the original base coat, the Sherwood green. I'm just going to pick out the details now. Just pick out the ridge of the nose, brow, cheekbone, jawline, a little bit on the neck there. Catch the edge of the temple. On the top of the forehead. Just to pick it out, and I'll probably come back with another coat. Alright, that's how he's looking at the minute. I'm now using a 50-50 mix of the the base coat with a little bit of the autumn green added. If you remember, it's a yellowy green, so it's going to be quite a nice contrast. Hopefully just mix them 50-50, and it's quite thin. I'm just going to pick out along the jaw, along the cheek, top of the brow. Helps if you got a nice point on your brush with this bit. I'm still using the size 1, but I'm just using the absolute tip of the brush. It's a nice little bit of brush control. I'll pick out the lines that run down the jaw or the mouth area. Maybe a little highlight there. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now. It's picked out all the details quite nicely, so I'll leave it there and see how it goes. Once we get the flesh on the other side, it should improve things a bit better. And yeah, once the hair is on as well, it should look okay. Okay, so I'm going to start on the flesh. As you can see there, it's a 50-50 mix of Citadel's Cadian flesh and Kislev flesh. So it's a lot lighter than I usually use, but I reckon because of the green skin on the other side of the face, it should make a nice contrast. So I was picking out the hands first. So back to the face now. So it's quite difficult to keep it in the middle of the camera, sorry. Okay, right. I'll try that for now. We'll come back when it's dry. Okay, that's the second coat on. We're going to move on to the wash. I'm using Citadel's Reikland Flesh Aid. I don't usually use this one. I usually use the sepia, but I thought I'd give this one a go, just for a laugh. See how it goes. Just letting it pool into the recesses. I've got quite a bit on my brush, and I keep going back to the pot, straight out of the pot, not watered down. I'm just letting it pool into the recesses. Right, let's go up on the face. Try and get the eye socket and the jawline. And the ears and the brow. Okay, right, we'll come back when that's dry and see what we got. Okay, so that's the wash dry. I quite like that one actually, so I might use that one again. So that was the Reikland Flesh Shade. I'm going back in with the original base coat, but a bit thinner, than when we first put it on. And I'm just going to start picking out the brow and the forehead. Let's push it up into the hair. Let's get that cheek. There's chin, top lip, and a dot on the nose, and come down the jaw and pick out the ear. Right, we've already done the hands, so we'll come back with another coat, see how that goes. Okay, I didn't bother with the second coat because it came out alright, so I'm going straight in with this is just Kislev Flesh, but I've watered it down a little bit more. I'll try and get a mini transition, so I'm just going to stick to the brow. Dot on the nose. I have to turn it slightly here to get into the cheek, top of the lip, top of the chin, and try and get that, pick out that line there. I'm thinking about doing another tutorial just on faces, so you get to know where to pick out to get the best of the facial features. That's going back in now. It's on the brow again. I'll go up in the hairline, so it gives a nice little highlight just before the hairline. It looks pretty cool. On the top of the cheek, that line, jaw, and the ear. And that's the flesh pretty much done, apart from the eye. For the eye, I'll put chocolate brown into the eye socket, and I'll just draw like pretty much a straight line, well, thick straight line, to get the shadow. Then I'll go in with not white, because I find white is a bit stark, so I'll add a bit of, say, bleach bone or beige to it, just to take it off white, and then I'll go in over the top of that chocolate brown, and then a dot of black in the middle, and that's your eyes done. So move on to the hair next. Right, although he's looking pretty good, I've decided to go in with another highlight. Could be a big mistake, but we'll see how it goes. This is Citadel's Flayed One Flesh. I've watered it down quite a bit. If you can see that, there's hardly anything coming through there. And I've changed my brush to a size 0, and all I'm going to do this time is just pick out the absolute details, like the end of his beak, top lip, chin, brow, hairline, and that is it, apart from the cheek, along the cheekbone, and I'm going to leave it there. So that's definitely the face done. I'll come back with the hair. So staying on the fleshy side of the face, the hair colour, I wanted to go quite dark on this side because we're going light on the other side, well, almost white. So seeing as I already had chocolate brown out for the eye socket, I'm going to use that one. So that's Vallejo's chocolate brown as a base coat. I might come in with Modelaire's Armour Brown. It's the old, used to be Tank Brown, but now it's Armour Brown. Tank Brown's a lovely colour. If you can get hold of that, it's amazing. and we'll probably highlight it with maybe a flat earth. I'm not sure yet, we'll see how it goes. Okay, so I'll come in with a base coat now. Okay, so I put a couple of coats of the chocolate brown on the hair. I figured you probably wouldn't want to watch that because it's boring. So the only thing you need to pay particular attention to is the going along the hairline, because you don't want to get rid of that highlight that you've spent 5 minutes putting in. So try and keep that. So I've got the Armour brown now. I've added a bit of water to it, so it's nice and thin. I'm just going to use it like a wash, but let's see if I can get it that way. Hang on. Just darken things down, see if you can get it into any folds that you can see. Let's get up the top of the part of the hair there. Pretty quick stage really. If you can do a line, where the skin meets the hair, all the better. Just be careful of that highlight, as I say. Okay, for the highlights, I've had a look at the flat brown on its own and it looked a bit too bright, so I've added a bit of the Armour brown to it, and all I'm going to do is pick out the lines of his hair. You don't really need to do this, but I think it'll make for a better looking end product, should we say. Because if you think about it, you're not going to see individual strands of hair, especially when you're looking at the other side of the table, or from the other side of the table, I should say. Okay, I'm going to leave it there for that side of the hair. So that was another pretty quick couple of stages for you. I think you'll agree it looks okay. Right, so for the other side of the hair, I'm going to go light grey and probably white, and I might do the shirt at the same time. Okay, so off camera I've cheated a little bit, and I've used the light grey already to go around the collar of the shirt. I'll just pick out it again with a second coat. So it's around the top of the collar line and a little triangle there. Same on the other side. And I've gone all the way around the back of the neck as well. I'll probably lighten that as we go. But, okay, so next bit, I think the light grey will be a bit too light to do the hair with, so I've gone with neutral grey and I've made a wash. Because we've already got the white in place still from the highlights, and I've been pretty careful with the hair, all I can do is go straight in with the neutral grey wash, just to get it into the recesses. Maybe pick out the hair on the side as well, because I've lost a bit of that because it's gone green. Right, we'll see how that dries. Okay, so that's the wash dried. I'm going in with the light grey now, and all I'm doing is picking out individual strands. There. I need to turn it so you can see. It's almost like a dry brush action that I'm doing, just to pick out. I don't want the brush to go into the recesses, so I'm just flicking across the top of the contours. And I'll pick out the raised detail bits. So as you can see, it's starting to come. We'll add a bit of white to that and come in with another coat, but while I'm using this colour, I'll pick out the top of the collar line again and that little triangle. And a little bit of the shirt. Okay, so I'll do another coat off camera and then come back. Okay, right, I've added more white to the light grey, and I've done the collar, well, a bit more of the collar, and I've added a really dark purple to the tie. Pretty straightforward. So I'm going to use that same light grey now to, well, it's almost white, to finish off the hair now, just to pick it out. As you can see, I'm being a bit more careful now just to pick out all the raised areas. I must say I've really enjoyed doing this one. It's a lovely one to work on. I'm going in with another highlight for the top of the collar. I might need to go a little bit lighter on this side because just to make it look like a white shirt basically. But no, that's looking, I'm hoping this is all in focus. That's looking okay. And I'll do one more highlight on the shirt. And I think that'll be it for this episode anyway. As you can see, each stage has been pretty quick coming together and it's looking pretty good. If you wanted to go a stage further, as I say, you know, do the eyes, just a line of white and a dot of black in the middle. I'll probably spend a bit more time on the hands because I've neglected them slightly. We'll come back with maybe the metallics and the shoes in another episode just to finish everything off. But for now, that's it. Hope you enjoyed this one. I know I have. It's been good fun picking out all the details. As I say, if you get a nice brush with a point on it, you can't go wrong really. So yeah, thanks very much for watching. Get involved in the comments, hit like and subscribe and that little bell in the corner, that would be great. As I say, if there's anything that you want to see in future episodes, let us know. I'm pretty open to do pretty much anything, as long as it's Batman related, of course. Yeah, keep your eyes peeled hopefully for the next episode. Well, it'll be the final part of the Two-Face mini-series, and I'll probably do skin next, I think. Yeah, we'll do a nice skin one. Okay, cheers. See you next time.